Welcome to the Orchid Advisors Compliance Training Series. Understanding precisely what the ATF expects of an organization with regards to compliance is not an easy task. A veritable legion of analysts and consultants has emerged with the stated mission of solving the compliance needs of organizations in the firearms industry. ATF compliance is a complex subject that has different ramifications and specifications depending on the characteristics and needs of each organization. Cookie-cutter or one-size-fits-all approaches to compliance may be easier and relatively inexpensive in the short term, but rarely work for the long term. Complex is an apt description of the things that can go wrong with ATF compliance. During a 2010 training session, a representative of the ATF shared the following list of common inspection violations: failure to timely record acquisition and disposition information, failure to properly track inventory, failure to properly mark firearms, failure to report theft or loss, and failure to notify change in control. Modern business operations measure themselves in terms of statistical levels of tolerable error. However, most modern business organizations do not operate within a strictly regulated business environment such as the firearms industry. Because of statutory and regulatory demands and in support of public safety, the ATF's goal is to drive levels of error to zero. Therefore, any organization operating under ATF's regulatory umbrella really must operate with the same zero-tolerance objective. Any deviation from this level of tolerable error should be discussed with the ATF. This process is essential and results in a reconciliation of ATF's expectations with the realities of the organization's individual needs and situation. In preparing for such a conversation with the ATF, it is worthwhile for the organization to conduct a risk assessment. Here are some situations where zero tolerance should be applied. Lost or stolen firearms. Extreme care should be given to designing physical firearm control and security procedures. Unserialized firearms entering or leaving the facility. Personnel in the receiving and shipping departments should be trained and evaluated upon monitoring for such events. Incorrect recording of a serialized item upon receipt, such that tracing efforts are adversely impacted. Personnel in the receiving and shipping departments should be trained and evaluated upon monitoring for such events. Situations where small deviations are permissible, but strongly discouraged, as it would also be considered a technical violation. The type noted in the serial number record is incorrect, for example, receiver versus frame. We do not support or recommend that an organization should design internal procedures that tolerate or permit errors. However, it is important to design a process that both meets the ATF's expectation and is not so stringent or redundant as to be cost prohibitive. Errors that could affect traceability of firearms or safety should not be tolerated. Thank you for watching this segment of our video training series.